So we've already had our suspicions, right, that TV isn't great for young children, but now there's even some proof now.
And it actually could be a lot worse than we thought, especially for toddlers.
Yeah, this is a wake-up call. Dr. Hefler is the lead author of a new study, an associate psychiatry professor at Drexel University. Welcome to Houston's Morning Show.
Here.
All right, let's talk about your study that looked at this impact on screen time of children under the age of 2. What did you find?
Well, we looked at the screen exposure at 12 months, 18 months, and 24 months. And we found at each of these time periods, the sensory processing was more likely to be atypical at 33 months. And these are in areas of low registration, so a child may need more sensory input in order to get a response to somebody calling their name or to a familiar voice, in areas such as sensory avoiding, so they may try to avoid having their hair brushed or wearing certain clothes. Sensory seeking, where they may be very attracted to lights or shiny objects, and as well as sensory sensitivity, which would mean that they may be upset when they're exposed to loud noises or other highly sensory intensive environments.
All right, so let's take a look at the amount of screen time that would be appropriate for this age group that you looked at, 1 year to 2 years old. Is there any appropriate screen time, or is the risk there with any amount at all?
Well, at the 12-month period, they looked at children that were viewing screens, and this was TV DVDs because the study was done between 2011 and 2014, and children that had no viewing. So the recommendations of the American Academy of Pediatrics are to avoid screen viewing up until at least 18 months, with the exception of video chatting, because that is more of a interaction with the child. And then through age 5, no more than 1 hour a day. And parents can be engaging with their children during that time, and high quality programming is also recommended. As far as the practicality, if a baby is watching for a few minutes and happens to have their face towards the screens, we're not really worried about that. But we want parents to be cognizant of the associations between early screen time and later developmental findings, and to use that as they plan their child's day and try to make the most of the time that their children have, because experience matters.
So Dr. Hefler, I heard you at the top referencing sensory difference. What should parents be looking for when it comes to that?
Well, in the study, they looked at four types of atypical sensory processing, and this was through the infant-toddler sensory profile, a questionnaire the parents filled out. So things like if the child is having meltdowns or irritability related to cold temperature changes, or scratchy surfaces, or they're covering their ears, or very irritated, or avoiding certain like bright lights or loud noises. Those types of things can be really disruptive for parents and increase the stress that parents are undergoing. So those types of things, if they become problematic and they interfere with the child's daily functioning, and particularly if a child is very much engaged with sensory, so they're spending their time staring at fans and spinning wheels, and then they may not be aware of the social things going on in the environment, and they can miss out on other valuable experiences.
All right, Dr. Hefler, valuable information. Try to find some toys, even though it's such an easy thing to hand over that screen. Sounds like we need to delay it. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you.